Welcome to a brand new episode of The Murtz Show. You cannot wipe this grin off my face. The unthinkable happened. I was in the audience tonight. It's been killing me for the last couple of hours not to tweet anything about it because, you can't really say anything since the eviction happens earlier. Man, what an episode. I will say that not only was tonight's episode the best episode of Big Brother Canada so far, but I think that in general, it was definitely one of the best episodes of reality TV that I've seen. Obviously I'm going to be biased. Obviously I'm going to be a little bit jaded. I thought that there was no scenario plausible that AJ was not going home tonight. In fact, AJ's sister called me frantically from France last night, or I guess it was this morning at 1 a.m., going, Murtz, oh my God, I'm in France. AJ's parents are in India. We need somebody to sit in this section because he's probably going home. And I was like, well, I'm going to the show anyway. She's like, no, you got to sit in this section. I'm like, okay. So I ended up going there. I was like on pins and needles because it's like, what are you supposed to say, when he comes home? Sorry? That's the most awkward conversation ever. And then when I heard about the twist, the Chevrolet, whatever, power shift thing, I was just like, man, this is totally designed to keep Suzette in. They want to get boring AJ out. And I think that this raises a pretty good question, too. I mean, AJ is playing to win, AJ is playing under the radar. And I haven't really talked about this at length yet, but certainly whenever we had strategic talks prior to the game starting, I always maintained that the smartest play on Big Brother is to go and align with the oldest player, the Chicken George, if you will, because I feel like the oldest player never turns and is very loyal. So when I saw AJ connect with Andrew, not to say that Andrew's old, but he's still the oldest in the house, I thought that that was a really good move off the bat. And I think that flying under the radar, not winning any competitions and stuff like that, he's on paper, he's playing well. The problem is that on TV, that doesn't really translate well. It translates into he's not doing anything, and then this twist came up, if you keep Suzette in, then she's going to go after Tom, and that's more entertaining than AJ, who's just flying under the radar. So I thought tonight was his night. I thought that Suzette would be saved, which she was. And then I thought that Tom was going to nominate Andrew and that AJ was going to go over Andrew. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that the Anil thing came out of nowhere. I thought that Jillian and Liza's votes came out of nowhere. It was just a shocking episode. Anyway, I'm going to bring Danielle and Kat on. I want to get into this right away. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Let's bring on our guests who are in the house. Danielle and Kat, welcome to the Murtz Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so the first thing we got to do is take a photo for the website. You just got to go like this and hold it for 3 seconds. Perfect. All right, let's get into it. Tell me what you think about Tom. Tell me what you think about Anil. Tell me what you think about... Oh my God, just tell me everything. Okay, Kat, we'll start with you. What do you think about Tom?
Well, honestly, Tom seems like he's the bull riding the horse right now because he's pretty much controlling the house, or so it seems. But the people that he's aligned with, I mean, he is basically the move maker. He's got Alex and Peter and Andrew and, in theory, Topaz. He's got all of them behind him. Or sorry, he's behind. No, he's in front of all of them, making the moves for them. So, I can't really say that he's doing it on his own. He's going to be the big horse that falls once, the shit hits the fan. But as far as it goes with Liza and Jillian's vote for Neil, that's not really a shock to me because they were both pretty tight with him. And, it's at the point where the house is dividing. So they don't really mind sticking it to people because they feel like they're safe. Liza's got Tom, Jillian's got Emmett. They know that they're not going to be made a target to throw Neil a couple votes.
Danielle, please tell me where this idea to get Anil up there. I did not think Anil was in danger this week. I felt like if Suzette was saved, Andrew was going up, and it was either going to be Andrew or AJ. So what did Anil do here? How is Anil out of the house?
Honestly, I'm not really sure what happened there. I mean, last week, I got sent home against Anil, which I obviously was shocked about. And so obviously there was a reason for why they wanted to keep Anil. So I thought that he was definitely going to stay, longer than just 1 week. I mean, they were going to keep him. There must have been a bigger reason than to just keep him around for so little time. So to tell you the truth, I really don't know why that he got sent home, other than the fact that, by sending him home, he's not really getting any huge targets on his back. So it was kind of like an easy move. And he does talk a lot, and I think people might be starting to catch on to him. So that's my best guess.
Kat, I know you were pretty tight with Anil. He seems like the type, and he even admitted this in his interview with Arista after he was kicked out. He was like, I've watched this. I'm such a fan of reality. I started to like overthink things. Do you think that that was his problem?
Well, there's so much that goes on in the house that people don't realize. I think one of the big problems with Emil that people weren't really led on to is that before I left, because I was tight with Emil, he and I discussed the ways that we could possibly help his game in my exit because obviously I wasn't going to be around to be a vote on his side. So the whole idea was we realized, well, we knew from the very beginning that the four guys were working together. So we figured the best way to sort of help Anil get further in the game was to try and pit them against one another by causing distrust. So he and I concocted this plan where we quote unquote knew each other, and we spread that throughout the house in my last week there. And there was a particular way that he was supposed to play it out where he basically, as soon as I walked out the door, was supposed to turn around to everybody and say, "Okay, I have to get this off my back. I know Kat. This is what happened, and like we don't know why, but we knew each other, and just because of proximity, like Tom automatically jumped to this conclusion when I told him that, but he assumed that Alec and Peter knew each other
Mhm.
because they lived within half an hour of one another, and same thing with Jillian and Emmett, they live like an hour
And
away from
say
one another.
Topaz and
So when I
AJ.
told
Topaz and
Peter,
AJ is the same thing.
exactly. So we just wanted to sort of, kick the dirt up a bit in my exit. And I think that, like, I didn't watch the live feeds, unfortunately, so I don't know how it really played out, but I don't think he played it properly. And I think it bit him in the ass, which sucks because I warned him. I said, you know what, if you're going to make a bold move like this
Hmm.
and you want to weather the storm of, you know, making something up like this, like it could get you evicted. Like the chances of you getting evicted are better than, it helping you out. But he wanted to take the risk. So I think that it caused a lot of distrust for him in the house because he wasn't upfront about it like he should have been. But oh well, it is what it is.
Danielle, I remember in your like pre-show, like when you were packing to go into the house, I remember this like zebra bikini, and you going, "I'm not afraid to use these. I'm not afraid to do showmances to get in." And the reason that I bring that up is because what the Cat touched on this earlier. It's very obvious whether you're in the house or whether you're like watching at home. The four guys are working together. What do you think about the strategy that the girls are employing to not take them out, but rather like just let them be?
I can't hear you. You're cutting out. Sorry.
I will say it again. It's
Oh, Murtz, you totally cut out for me as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, well, hey guys, what's going on? It's the Cat and Danielle show.
Yay!
Can you hear me or no?
Hey.
Can you hear me or no?
Now we can hear you now.
10. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Danielle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, real quick. What do you think about the girls aligning with the guys rather than trying to take them out?
Honestly, I don't really think it's a good idea because the guys are going to stick to each other and they're going to get the girls out in the end where it was kind of a stupid decision. I mean, all the girls should have aligned together. I think it would have made us a lot stronger, and then we could have gone against the guys because I really feel like the guys are just using them right now, and they're just going to get rid of them when they get closer to the end.
And Danielle, follow-up question. I know the girls kind of coupled up real quick, but if you had to sort of use the showman strategy, was there a guy that you had your eye on?
One more time, sorry.
I said the girls kind of coupled up right away, but if you did have to get into a showmance with one of the guys, who would you have picked?
Honestly, none of them. None of them were my taste. I would just fly solo that whole time. They were
Um,
my
Kat,
style.
Kat, can anyone win HOH that is not named Tom or Emmett?
Sorry, is there anyone that can win HOH? Well, yeah, fuck, I could have if I was there.
Yeah.
Man, I saw that tree hugging one and I just like I died because I would have owned it. It sucks because it's actually funny. Somebody told me an interesting stat this week. Apparently, I'm the only Big Brother player that's ever competed that has never actually competed in a competition at all.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's true or not. Any Big Brother aficionados out there who know, let me know. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wish that someone else would win it just to sort of take Tom a peg down. Not just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
not just because Tom is being Tom, but because I think that he needs to take his ego down a notch in order to be successful in this game. I think that if he just keeps on pumping out these big W's, it's just he's gonna think he's invincible and he's gonna get backdoored and totally screwed. So who knows?
Danielle, Brody brings up an interesting point here. Big Brother Canada is so predictable, and I think it is too. I mean, it doesn't matter which one, but there's no way a Quattro member does not win this game, right? It has to be somebody, one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Unless the girls that are involved in the showmances, let's just say like the girls, as in Liza, Jillian, and Topaz, if they can pick up their socks and somehow manage to overpower the guys one way or another, then like here's hoping. But I mean, right now it's just looking as though they're jewelry and they're totally expendable to the Quattro.
Danielle, what do you think about the Quattro? Like, do you feel like somebody from there has to win? And isn't that going to be boring? Wouldn't it be better to see a Suzette or a Gary or a Topaz or something do something crazy? Oh, I don't think she can hear me. Danielle, Earth to Danielle.
Okay, no, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
That's okay. I said, what do you think about a Quattro member winning? Do you think that that's deserved, or would you prefer somebody like Gary win?
Honestly, I would love to see an underdog win just because, they're probably struggling the entire process of the season. So, it would be great for them to win, and I think that going through all those struggles, it would be well deserved for sure. That being said, I don't really think it's likely to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of depressing because I feel like this is kind of like the brigade all over again. This is kind of like the nerd herd all over again. And the problem is now that like you and Kat and now Anil are gone, I don't see anyone else being able to put up a fight because I feel like Liza and Jillian and AJ are just gonna do whatever the big boys say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. The house is just going to stay the same, and I feel like everything is just going to kind of go the same route unless like Gary wins HOH or Suzette.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, if Gary or Suzette, maybe even Tala, if any of them win HOH, I would really hope that they would have the balls to do like a big move where,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
where it's
definitely
like they're putting up like, two of the major competitors, and if they veto themselves, then putting up someone else equally competitive. I would say, like, if I was in the house at this point, I would be going for Quattro. I'd be going for the jugular, not because I know of their alliance now. I knew of their alliance within the first 3 days because Alec and
yeah.
Peter had told me, and because Tom and Emmett had told me, and then they had all told me. It's like it was no secret. So it's like, why? I don't know. I feel like down the line, someone's gonna get evicted and be like, "I'm shocked they were working together," and it's like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Like,
I feel like that's why I got sent home. It's because they knew that I was like, not scared and I was just going to do whatever the hell I wanted, whatever was going to be best for me. And I wasn't scared to like flip the house. And I think they were like, ooh, like, we don't want this chicken here. I'm pretty sure that's why I got sent home.
that's the thing. It was like high school. It was a popularity contest, and like those four, the Quattro, if you want to call it. And I guess when I refer to Quattro, in a sense, I'm referring to Topaz and Jillian as well, because apparently
Hmm.
they don't have
Hmm.
their own opinion.
Yeah.
But like I feel like as though like they all told us that they wanted to pick off the floaters first, and the floaters were anybody that they didn't let into their
Right,
big boys
right,
club,
Showmance.
right?
right. You know,
Exactly. So.
well, you do bring up an interesting point about Suzette, Cat, and we'll start with you on this. Like, obviously, the twist tonight saved Suzette, but really, did it just give her a stay of execution? Because even if she was saved today, she's going home next week or the week after. So like, what's the point?
Well, I think that for the guys, like we'll start off with saying that Suzette is a competitor. She says that she's not a very physical competitor, but to be honest, I feel as though that she's much more agile than she puts herself out to be, and I feel like as though using her weight as a barrier is not really fair, and not even just for her, but it's not realistic because she can compete. She was right behind Emmett in the initial veto competition, so obviously it doesn't matter how physical you are, you can still win competitions. So I mean, with that being said, I think that for Suzette and her longevity in this game, like she Tom has sworn to go after her as revenge for getting me evicted, and also because they just don't like each other. But I think in all reality is that he's probably starting to realize, probably by influence from Quattro, is that she's not a threat, you know. And if as long as she doesn't make it to final two, then it'll be easy enough to get her evicted. So I mean, I'd like to say ideally she's going to be out before jury, but who knows? Because people want to keep the non-threatening people around. It's like you sort of have a lifespan depending on what your niche is. For
Right.
Suzette has children, so nobody would want to take her to final two because that's just sympathetic to give her the money for, you know, and so she'll never make it that far. But you know, can they use her to get, you know, it's just tough to say because I feel like as though Alec and Peter are using Tom and Emmett and Tom and Emmett don't realize it.
Yeah.
So who knows? It might be part of their master plan to get Emmett and Tom out before jury, and then try and have people like Suzette who are easily influenced, who don't have their own vote. You know, I mean, it's tough to say, but I would ideally like to say that she would be out before jury, but being realistic, they'll probably keep her around just to for the sake of, you know, having her as an easy competitor.
Yeah.
Danielle, what do you think about Suzette? Do you think she's a good player? Do you think she's overrated? Do you think she's just playing the sympathy card?
Honestly, I don't really think Suzette's a threat. I mean, I got to know her really well when I was in the house, and you know, she's just an emotional person, and so am I. And I think that's why we bonded. And um, I don't really think that she's a threat. I just think that she, you know, she's just a lot like me. Like she just doesn't take crap. Like if she won HOH, yeah, she would probably put Tom up, but it's not for only personal reasons. Like Tom is. Tom is putting up Suzette for personal reasons. Suzette putting Tom up is a benefit to her both for personal because of
Yep.
what they're fighting and because he's a threat. So it makes sense. So I feel like, you know, she'd be smart and I guess she'd be a threat to some people, but on a whole perspective, you know, I don't think that she's like the biggest threat in there. No.
Kat, I know we disagree, I think, on Suzette a little bit because I am a Suzette fan. I think she's there to play balls out, and I loved that she put Tom and Emmett up, when she won that first HOH. So, do you think that Suzette is a good player, or do you think that I'm giving her too much credit?
From my personal experience, I would say that you're giving her too much credit. Um, I say that from like again my own personal experience, something that wasn't shown on the first two, I guess, episodes that I was on. The night before she put my name up for a placement nomination, I had gone up to her to pitch the strategy that would have kept her safe for at least 3 weeks, and she wouldn't even listen to me, and she was very argumentative. And you know, I was trying to explain to her that at most it would buy her 3 weeks, and at most it would buy me 1 week. So the fact that I'm pitching this straight to her, you know, it's like I'm pitching it for her benefit, for her game. So I mean, for one, she wouldn't listen to me. The whole strategy was, you know, there was the 7 people in the house that everybody else agreed were working together on like a certain level. So that was the 4 guys from Quattro, Topaz, Jillian, and Andrew. Okay, so those 7 people. And so the rest of us, the other 8, I proposed to her, you know, if the 8 of us agree to work with each other until at least jury, you know, like solid agree, we can get all these 7 people out. And so, you know, we had Emmett up on the block. Instead of putting me up, if she put Alec up, then, which was what I was
Man,
pushing for, then
yeah.
one of the 2 of them would have gone home, which would mean going into week 2, the
Can
numbers
you,
were 8 and 6. And
man,
then
can you,
and,
that game would have been completely different.
and you know what? And it wasn't even so much that because it would have been the oddballs versus like the jock and cool kids. So week 2, I played out all the scenarios and I said, listen, if you divide the house in week 1, nobody really wants to do that. But if you establish that division, then going into week 2, it would be 8 versus 6. If we win HOH, if we win veto, we're laughing because then guaranteed we're sending another one of them home, which makes it going into week 3, 8 versus 5, and our numbers control the vote regardless. So I told her that worst case scenario, week 2, if they won HOH, They had the power to put any two of the 8 of us up at any given time. And I told her, you guys are more than welcome to throw me under the bus, because if you put me up for nomination this week, I am going home. So if you give me that second week, I can pull out an HOH win. I will keep you safe. And so I just tried to pitch this to her, and she wouldn't even listen to me. And it's funny because on the show they depicted it as me just like trying to natter in her ear, but in actual fact I was getting so frustrated because I was trying to pitch her an incredibly solid deal, and she wouldn't even listen to me, and she contradicted herself on so many things. So I mean, like, her and I had heart to hearts about bullying and being picked on, and she had told me how upset she was that the whole house had approached her about putting Gary up for nomination. So when I went to go speak to her, I actually had 5 other people that wanted to come up with me, but I said, no, guys, no. I think that I should go up by myself because Suzette was very hurt last time we did that, and I want to respect her wishes. And then once I went up there to talk to her, she's like, well, if you've got these 5 people, where are they? Why aren't they standing here with you? And it's like, which way do you want it? Right?
No, I get. Danielle, I have a question for you. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so can you do me a favor and recreate your face when you found out that you were being blindsided? Do you remember that face?
Yes. Are you ready?
Can I see it? Yes, I'm ready. We're both ready.
Are you? What the?
OMG! Now, you know that, like, I feel like I know a lot of Danielles on Big Brother, and I gotta say, I was telling Danielle from Big Brother 14 this earlier. When I saw you, Danielle, from Big Brother Canada do that face, the first thing I thought of was Danielle making that face when Shane got sent home. So, I don't know if you guys have met each other, Danielle, and Kat.
Hey guys.
Hello, big fan.
Thank you. Y'all did really good.
Could have done better.
Yeah.
So Danielle, maybe you can like offer a little bit of like advice. I feel like you can offer a little bit of advice to Kat and Danielle Canada on like what the experience has been like after you left the show.
It's been crazy. Like, what's the hardest thing for y'all to adjust to since being on the show? Like, what's the biggest thing that y'all had to deal with?
Hate. A lot of people, like, you're so, like, away from everybody in the world, and then you walk out and, like, half the country loves you and the other half hate you. And they think that you're this person that you're actually not. And, I thought that was, like, I'm starting to get used to it now, but I thought it was really difficult.
I have to say, I was gonna say, for me, it hasn't been difficult in the sense that, like, I didn't have any haters when I left. I was fortunate. I was very fortunate. But I think a lot of people were kind of confused as to what really happened, and they realized that it wasn't really shown on the show. So I find that the people that have stopped me, it's like they want to know, and so I'm having to explain it over and over and over again, and it's really repetitive. But I mean, they don't know, so I don't mind taking the time, I guess. But it's a bit much now.
I can totally relate with you, Danielle. I wasn't expecting as much hate as I got when I got off this show.
I know.
You can't listen to it. Some people just love to hate on people, and that's how they feel better about themselves. And you play a good game, so don't even listen to it. They don't know you. They don't know you. They think that they know you because they watch you through a TV screen or whatever.
Mhm.
It's not who you are. Don't let it get you down. If you want to talk about it later on the phone or something, call me. I can tell you way
Thank
more.
you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You know, Danielle, I'm just going to call you Danielle Oh, I can't even call you Danielle Alexis because her last name is Alexander. What a mess this is. So, okay, I'm just going to call...
Danielle.
No, even that's good. Okay, Danielle, for the purposes of this, I'm just going to call you the American, okay? It'll be like that show on FX. So, Danielle American, my question for you is, on this season of Big Brother Canada, we have a lot of, like, theories about how the girls are following the guys. And it kind of reminds me of how everybody said, oh, that Danielle, she just follows Dan around. So, do you think that there's something? Do you think that there's something to be said for that strategy? Do you think that like it's actually a good strategy to let somebody else take the bullets and you just sort of ride behind?
I mean, yes and no. I didn't like that everybody said I rode Dan's coattails or whatever, but I mean, it did get me to the finals. So Dan's craziness did get me pretty far in the game. So you always want somebody in front of you that's going to take a line of fire behind you, and that's why showmances can be so dangerous, especially for the guys, because in the showmances, the guys usually go home first.
No, it's true. It's true. Danielle Canadian and Kat, do you have any questions for Danielle before I let her go? Kat, we'll start with you.
Man, how did you live in that house? I mean, like, are you easily like, are you cool with dealing with drama like that? Because like I was only in there for a week and I knew that I was gonna get evicted on the second day. So I had like 7 days to fully enjoy myself. But I try to imagine like, if I made it to like week 10, how would I feel? Because I'm just like, whenever I have drama around me, I'm just like, get away from it. So I mean, how did you manage to stay that long with it?
Just because Shane was just a rock for me. He was an escape, and I was such good friends with Jen and Brittany, and I loved Will. Like, I had a lot of good friends. There was only a couple people in the house that I just didn't click with, and they kept me sane. But the drama, I'm telling you, especially that last week, they don't show you. I'm gonna have to be careful what I say. They don't show you everything that goes on clearly, as you know. And so, right before Anna evicted me at the finale, I had known for 6 days that I was leaving. And so it was just kind of an awkward. I was stuck in the house with two guys. Dan just backstabbed Shane. I had no idea. And then I had to sit there just like a sitting duck, just waiting to get your head chopped off. I hated it.
Oh man, yeah, same thing for me, man.
Danielle Canadian. Any questions for Danielle, American?
This has nothing to do with the game. Well, actually, maybe kind of, but are you still friends with anybody?
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's possible to stay friends with them, or do you think it's just, people are just way too involved into the game and you can't really, be friends after?
That's a really good question. I'm still friends with a lot of people.
Okay.
What's the hardest is people say it's just a game, it's not personal. Well, in that game, you make personal relationships. That's what you're living.
Yeah.
That it does become personal. It does, and it all depends on your personality. How bad can you just forgive them and let it go, or how much do you think it was a personal attack on yourself? I'm friends with 12 or 13 of the people that I left the house with.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So I don't hold any grudges. I don't hold any hard feelings. I just try to learn from my mistakes and know not to make them again. So.
That's good. That's awesome to hear.
I've got one more question. Would you go back? Would you ever do it again?
I'd probably go back. As much as that like terrifies me to say, because that's a crazy house. That house just makes you want to pull your hair out. You can't go anywhere. Cameras following you 24/7. I mean, I've got stuff on YouTube of people making fun of the way I put on my makeup. Do you know how boring that house got? There was nothing else for me to do than take forever to do my makeup. Like, come on, guys, really?
Some people said about me that like Danielle's the longest puts on moisturizer, the longest person I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, whoa, it's dry in here.
Yeah, at least you're putting on moisturizer, unlike the people who are like watching anyway.
You want some? No, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Danielle. Okay, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're coming back on the Murtz show. We're gonna like explore a lot of what happened last season, and I also want your take on like what's coming up on the new season of Big Brother US. But the one thing I have to ask you before I let you go is it safe to say that I can count you as a member of Team AJ on Big Brother Canada? Yes. Say yes. Say yes. Just say yes. Just nod. No. Oh my God. You.
Hold the brakes, Murtz. Isn't your boy AJ the one that's going and telling my business on the live feeds right now?
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God. he has a little bit, you know, he talks a lot, all right? I understand he talks a lot. And you Skyped me when I was at his house.
No, you FaceTime me, number one. Number two,
Incorrect.
we were just talking general, yeah. And, so, I mean, I'm not saying that either true or false, whatever he's saying. I just don't like my personal business being blasted now and all.
Hey, I'm not doing it. Oh my gosh, Danielle.
I love AJ. Sure, I like.
Okay, there we go. Okay, come on. That was like part of the Murtz show agreement that like we talked about. I'm like Danielle. I'm gonna ask you if you're gonna be on Team AJ. You got to say yes when I ask you that question. You're just blowing. We're breaking the fourth wall here. Danielle. All right, Danielle. We will see you back here. I think probably next week, right after you catch up on some Big Brother Canada.
Yeah, well, if y'all have any questions, please contact me. I'll try to help you as much as I can.
Thanks for coming by and meeting us. That's cool.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks for having me, y'all.
It's cool seeing you.
Danielle, thanks for coming.
Thank you, man.
There you go. Bam. All right. That was a big surprise. I thought that was a pretty good surprise. I also liked the intro with the open mouth. Come on, Danielle. This is like
Yeah,
Walter
that was
Cronkite kind of material here.
That was
pretty
really
big surprise.
awesome. That was crazy.
Now, I guess to take it back, and I know we're starting to wrap things up here. We're in like our final half hour of the show. I want to know who you feel like is in the best position to win. I think we all agree it's a Quattro member. Is it Peter? Should we just like call this a day?
Who, me?
Yes, Danielle.
Yeah, I feel like Peter. I feel like Peter's in the best position. I mean, I thought that even when I was in the house, and then when I watched the episodes, I felt that way even more. I mean, he's faked like an ankle injury. I mean, he's flying under the radar. This guy knows exactly what to do, and I feel like he's in the best spot for sure.
Kat?
I called Peter out the day that I left. I told him, I was like, you make yourself seem like you're this big computer geek that can't do anything. But I told him, like, as much as I love you, you're lucky that I'm leaving because I have the biggest target on your back right now. And he just laughed. He knew. He's just like, thanks, Kat. That's a huge compliment. I was like, no, Peter. Like, you don't have to pretend with me. We know that you know everything about Big Brother. And you know, you're out there pretending like you don't know what you're doing, working out with the guys, and it's like you've got a rockin' body. Let's not kid ourselves here. So yeah, I think that he's got the best chance. I think it'll come down to like him and Alec. I'm hoping that it won't. I'm hoping Alec goes beforehand and it's something better, like who knows, like Peter and Gary. Those are my final two hopes. If it's Peter and Gary, because that would be a really tough one to pick through. I mean, I feel like Peter's got the game plan, but Gary's got the action. Whereas I think that Peter would probably be very wary of making any really bold moves, you know? Like, I think he'd be okay with supporting a bold move, but would he take it himself? Probably not. Whereas Gary, you know, you piss Gary off, and he's out there with his, you know, his torch going to lynch buddies, so...
Danielle, I want to talk a little bit about the votes tonight. Liza and Jillian voted against AJ. What was that? Like, do you think that it was a strategic move where now they're going to like blame Gary for being the one who voted that way? Like, I didn't really understand those two votes. Oh wait, can you hear me? Every time you give me that sign, I'm worried.
I need you to repeat that. Sorry. Okay.
Why do you think that Liza and Jillian were the only ones who voted against AJ tonight?
Maybe to just show, I don't know, just to kind of show that they are still on the same page as last week. I don't know, like, I feel like, you know, they kept him in there, they kept Danielle in there for a reason, and maybe they just felt close to him and they didn't want to seem like, you know, they're just changing their mind all the time, and at least they're like kind of playing like a steady game, and maybe they're still feeling the same. They don't want to be all over the place. So, you know, maybe that was their shot. Maybe they feel like they can really use Danielle, and they, you know, could have benefited from having him stay in the house because they are so close to him.
Yeah. And Kat, like, I thought Liza was like, you know, sort of like doing what Tom wanted this week, and yet she obviously did what he didn't want. So I really think there's something to be said about those two mystery votes, you know, like, why did they do that?
Well, honestly, in my opinion, uh, I think that, well, one, Liza definitely likes to be defiant, and although Tom thinks that she's got it under wraps, she realizes that if she votes against the majority of the House, then, she can cause distrust and, convince people like, oh, so and so was that one vote. But personally, I think
Yeah,
that
that's
Liza
true.
and Jillian voted for Neil because they're friends with him. And which is sort of, I think that Jillian felt like she owed him one because in her HOH reign, she put him up and it
Yeah.
wasn't her decision and she let the guys make that decision for her, which like for shame, Jillian, make up your own friggin' mind. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean I think
agree.
that's the reason why they
Except I
voted
still
for
would have
it.
been up if she did that.
Yeah, but I mean it's just I don't know. Like as far as it goes with Liza and me, like Liza voted for me, which was kind of funny because I think like I had told everybody I actually had 5 votes that were willing. Oh, Murtz is gone. Cat and Danielle
Back to
show.
our show.
Yeah, that's our
I'm coming back. I'm
show.
coming back. I'm coming back.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you
Sorry.
are. Okay, you're back. Um,
Am I back?
yeah.
Yeah.
In my week, I actually had 5 votes that were willing to vote for me, but because I knew I couldn't secure the 6 to go to a tiebreaker, I told everybody to not vote for me. Funny enough, as soon as I left and I found out there was 1 vote, I was like, crap, who did I not tell? That's why I looked shocked when I heard the votes because I thought it was supposed to be 12-0. So I was like, who the frig voted for me? But yeah, so I think that Liza just likes being defiant and just likes to stick it to the
Yeah,
house.
that's
Like, all
true.
right, I may not like the nominations, but that doesn't mean that I have to vote the way everybody else wants to vote.
Danielle, do you think that it's sort of like if she does make it to the end, if she keeps casting these votes for people who don't go home, she can just argue, "Hey, I didn't vote for you," and then it's an easy win, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, even like the other week when she, was the one to vote against Kat, or sorry, to keep, um, everybody thought it was a Neil. And so she kind of like used that to her advantage, like, oh,
Right.
who's the one that wanted Emmett out? And so she's kind of just like, I think she wants to just keep playing that, and it's gonna work to her advantage, I think. And yeah, in the end, it'll be good for her for sure. I think so.
In terms of like reality, like history, I feel like tonight's episode was a real like landmark point. A lot of people have been speaking very highly of Big Brother Canada. Like I'll be very honest with you, like I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. Like I remember when AJ and I were at the open call, and he was like, "How do you think this is going to be?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, this is going to be like Canadian Idol, okay?" But really it's been just as good as the American one until tonight. Tonight is when they brought in the twist. So do you feel like tonight the show stepped up, or do you feel like the twist sort of like set it back? Because I was very much enjoying the purity of Big Brother Canada. Like there's no like stupid Pandora's box, and you know what my question is. Kat, we'll start with you.
Uh, I'm torn on the twist, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, on one hand, I just the way that I see the shows going, I just see like that Power Seven group running house, which sucks because you get the better characters out, like Danielle, myself,
Yeah,
Anil,
that's hard.
probably AJ, Suzette, Gary, like, we're all very strong characters. And I think that it would almost be better if you didn't have people who were so strategically geared, like Alec and Peter. If you heard those guys talking in the house, they know everything about every season in like every country. They're talking about Big Brother Australia, Big Brother UK, and and like they just knew everything about everything. So it's like I don't know. I kind of feel like if the twist happened tonight, I almost wish that it somehow was geared towards getting one of those 7 out
Yeah.
because like I said
Yeah.
they're just going to run
Completely.
teams and it's like it's not an obvious strategic sort of move for everybody that of course the 4 guys are going to work together and have their bromance. I mean if you guys saw how much time they spent working out with one another, it's just
Totally.
natural, it's going to happen. So
I think, yeah, that's a
I think
really that's a really good point. I really actually do like that. Danielle, like, what do you think about that? I think Kat raises an interesting point here. Like, if you are going to do a twist, do something that's going to like hurt the 7 that are right now. Basically, they can play this game blindfolded, and those guys are going to be in the final 7.
Well, honestly, I feel like it was an attempt. I mean, I think by keeping Suzette, I mean, it's like if one of them, I was just hoping that one of them was going to win HOH though. So if they
Yeah.
can stay in long enough to win HOH, maybe, that was the goal, and maybe they will kind of shake it up, and I'm hoping that's what happens. I think it was kind of an attempt for Suzette to really go hard at Tom and, to get one of the seven out, and maybe like they'll align with like Peter and Alec, or maybe not align, but just come to like an agreement that Tom needs to leave. So, what I feel like it was still cool. I think I like the twist.
Does it surprise any of you? Kat, we'll start with you on this. Like, one of the things that I'm always all about the strategy on these shows. That's really all I care about. But, most people that you talk to on the street, they always bring up this whole like Emmett and Jillian, Alec and Topaz thing. Does it surprise you how hot and heavy Emmett and Jillian got after basically 2.5 weeks? Because I feel like I could have had 2.5 years with Jillian and I wouldn't even get like a quarter of what Emmett is getting.
You know what? As far as it goes with Emmett and Jillian, I'm surprised and I'm not. And I think American Danielle touched on this earlier when she was saying, it's easy to get involved in a showman. You're in such a highly emotionally charged environment where you walk in and there's, 14 other people that you don't know who to trust. And the thing is if you establish, sort of a connection relationship wise with someone of the opposite sex, or of whoever your preference, it's like that bond makes it easier to trust them, even though it could totally screw you over. But a romantical bond is much stronger than a friendship bond, and you're going to be more trusting of that person that you can lean on, as opposed to someone who is your friend. So I'm not
Right.
surprised that Emmett and Jillian got so heated so fast. It's kind of funny because he and I shared a bed, so who knows what would have happened if I had stayed and Jillian had gone. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I kind of wish that there weren't as many showmances, though. It's not as fun.
Um, Dan- Danielle, like, were you surprised by the fact that the sheets in the bed got rattled so quickly?
Honestly, yeah. I actually thought that they knew each other. I was so shocked. Like, not only are it's not like these guys are just starting to date. They just met. They just met each other.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, whoa, whoa. Like, they were kind of flirting from a distance. I mean, before Jillian won HOH, and then as soon as Jillian won HOH, excuse me, they were just whoa, like kissing in the kitchen, and everybody knew what was going on upstairs, and um, I was just kind of like, okay, like how could they go from flirting to like full on everything, whatever. So I really started to speculate because I thought that they must have like known each other to get that comfortable that quick. I do agree with Kat to some extent. I mean, I know that, emotions run high and there's a trust factor involved, but honestly, still, like that happened like right away. Like I just thought it was really, really quick. I thought it was going to be more like, Alec and Topaz, or, Liza and whoever she chooses.
I think I think the funny thing is that in speaking to Jillian, she was like, there's no way I would ever do that, and I'm I've too much
Yeah, could
pride,
be.
and
Yeah.
yeah, like she's just, I don't know, in my conversations with her, she just seems like she thought very highly of herself and that she would never do it, and so I'm kind of at home laughing like, sorry, what did you say before? What did you say before? Can we get a replay on that?
Um, do you almost feel like this is like Bizarro Big Brother? Because I feel like if this was Survivor and two people hooked up, the first thing people would say is, "Oh, we got to break those two up." Or like if I saw four guys hanging out, in a corner, I'd be like, "Oh my God, we got to get them out." They're a threat. Whereas I feel like everything is being tolerated this season. Yeah, do whatever you want. You want to hook up with her? Feel free. You want to hook up with, you want to work out with those guys, you want to make an alliance and go all the way to the end, we're just going to let you. So do you feel like this is almost like weirdo Big Brother, where all the rules that you're not supposed to do will actually get you farther, Danielle?
Please say Big
Um,
Brother.
kind kind of. I mean, when I seen how quick like the showmances were happening, and how serious they were, I was kind of like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like this game is a lot different than I expected it to be. It was kind of just like, once if you're not in a showmance right now, like you're not in the group. You're not in the, you know what I mean? So I was kind of like, whoa, this game is going to be a lot different, and I had to kind of like change how I was, originally gonna play it.
But then why didn't you just get in a showmatch with AJ or Andrew? There was plenty of like candidates.
I'm not just gonna give myself up.
Uh,
Has to be worth it. It was not worth it in this case. Sorry.
why? um, would you say, Kat, that Andrew and AJ are in a showmance with each other?
Sorry, I missed that. You cut out.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I said, do you think that Andrew and AJ are in a showmance with each other?
Andrew
No,
and
Andrew likes
AJ?
Gary.
No, you know what? I think that
Andrew likes
I think
Gary's
that
dance moves.
I think that Andrew and AJ both wanted a showmance, but obviously since the girls have more superficial tastes, they realize, hey man, like we're the only ones that we can rely on with one another, and I think that's pretty cool. It sucks though because it's like they're such cool guys, and it's actually become Big Brother, Bachelor, Bachelorette pad, and I would love
Right.
no
No,
showmance.
totally.
I
That's
would
good. That's
love
that. This is totally Bachelor Pad. This is totally Bachelor Pad.
I would love like a house full of Garys. Like, can you
Oh,
imagine
me too.
if it was like half Garys? Like, just I say Gary in the
Half
sense that
Toms.
like,
You half Toms and Garys. You need
no, no,
Toms
no,
in there.
no, 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 no. I have to elaborate on why I say Gary. Gary has such a strong personality, and it's not the glitter, it's not anything in particular. It's just the way that he's out there, and like it's kind of funny because he's torn. On one hand, he's not apologetic for who he is, but on the other hand, he's insecure about it. So there's those different strings that come into play, and if you had like you know 15 people in the house that were all like that, where it was like, there were no showmances going on, that would be amazing because it would be like backstabbing, drama, strategy, backdooring. Like I would love that personally.
Um, we're gonna start to wrap things up here and take some questions before we get to the Murtz challenge. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody to please hit the tweet button. You can find that at the top of your window to let people know that you are here. We've only got another just about 15 minutes left. So if you can do that now, before we take some questions, do you guys have any regrets? Is there any? How about this? Like, I'm sure obviously you're gonna have regrets. Is there any one thing that you wish you had done now that you've sort of gone back, now that you've seen the show, you've had time to see the show? Danielle, we'll start with you.
Honestly, the only thing I could say I wish I changed was, opening up more in the first week. It was really hard for me to adjust to being in the house. I think everybody's different. Everybody deals with adjusting to that situation differently. And I was kind of, I guess, secluded. I didn't think I was being, but I guess I was being a little bit secluded in the first few days when I, could have been interacting with people in the house more, and including Jillian. And, maybe that could have helped our relationship, and maybe I wouldn't have been out so soon. But in regards to, volunteering myself as a pawn, I did have a strategy behind that. And I did stay true to myself throughout the entire game and stay true to my morals. So I don't really regret anything in that aspect. But, I guess I could have been, more out there in the first week.
And Kat, is there anything you regret?
Well, first of all, Danielle, I have to say that you got outed by a catty girl, so do not have any
Yeah.
regrets because it's a compliment, man. Do I have any regrets? Well, frig, man, I regret that I never got to compete in any stupid competitions. Like, you know, all my friends that
Yeah.
know me really well, like, they know I'm such an athletic person, so they're like, really, Kat, you didn't do one? But other than that, I can't say that I have any regrets because I went out on that stupid decision. So, it sucks. It really friggin' sucks. But I can't say that I regret anything that I did. I know the show sort of made it seem as though, I was playing the game too fast and too hard and I pulled a Brian. But the truth is that I didn't talk about the game any more than anybody else. And I hope that, the Big Brother fans out there know that. I legitimately got nominated and evicted because Suzette made a really stupid decision and I was up against beautiful Emmett. Like nobody would stand a chance against him in the first week. So
It's true.
Oh.
no
It's
regrets.
true. Now, I had planned the Danielle surprise earlier from Big Brother 14, but sometimes even I get a few surprises here.
What up?
Evil Dick
Who the fuck?
is in the house.
Evil Dick, what's going
How you guys
on?
doing? I like how you guys are saying, I don't have any regrets or anything. You're out! What do you mean you don't have any regrets? Of course you have to have some regrets.
Dude, I didn't screw up though. I got evicted because
Yeah.
this stupid girl didn't like me.
Yeah, but that's only one person. The whole house didn't like me.
Well, I just didn't have the votes. It's what it is, you know? I don't, like, if you saw the guy that I was up against, come on. He's
I've
a
been
looker.
It's true.
I've
Well,
been
no, Evil's evil. I know you're watching the show.
watching. I want to know, I want to see Murtz right now reenact the happy dance he did when AJ stayed. Because I know he was
Oh man,
he was in his
it
apartment.
was.
He was dancing naked. He was like,
No, I was there, dude. I almost rushed the stage. I was there. I was like in the front row, and I was like freaking out.
Murtz all week has been going, AJ doesn't have any chance at all. This sucks.
He doesn't, but they're idiots,
Wow,
Dick.
wow,
They're idiots.
wow.
They should have sent him. I don't understand because I just think that they're just a very. I don't think it's the smartest cast. You know, I mean, in general, I don't feel like it's the smartest cast. They should have put Andrew up. They should have taken Andrew out. Why didn't they take Andrew out?
Talking about it all week long, right?
I mean,
I don't
I just think
You
that.
know what it is? It's the
I'm just
easy-
saying-
they go
Okay.
for the easy out. That's what it is. They're
Right.
going for the easy out. And Danielle, sorry, but you were the easy out that
know.
week for sure. You pissed off a lot of people, and they're just like, oh, we don't want to make any waves and this and that, so we're gonna take the easy way. And then he puts up,
Yeah.
Tom puts up Gary and who the hell was it? Gary and was it Gary
Suzette.
and AJ?
No, Suzette. It originally
that's
was
right.
Gary and Suzette,
Gary and
and then he
Suzette.
took Gary off.
Very, very easy nominations. Not gonna make any waves. You know, and then I don't understand why he's like, if I win, I'm gonna get you off the block, Gary. If I'm HOH and I put two people up, those are the motherfuckers I want up. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a plan.
I told Tom to go for the
replace them.
jugular and get Alec out.
Yeah, but I don't understand unless you're really trying. And the only reason that you really backdoor anybody like that, by if you win the POV yourself as a HOH or one of your alliances wins, is if it's a strong competitor and you're really worried about them winning the POV and taking themselves off the block. Otherwise, you put up who you want to go up. And it's two people that you're going to be happy either way if either one of them go home. I mean, plain and simple.
See, the reason why Tom took Gary off the block is he wanted to throw it in Suzette's face that it was personal and he wanted her out. That was the reason why. He even said, like, I don't have to use the POV, but I want Suzette to know that, you know, it doesn't matter who the other person is that's nominated, it's her that's going home. Very egotistical of him, but
What
that
I
was the
think is
reason why he did it.
hilarious is Suzette now thinks that the audience is in love with her, which is, oh, I'm so happy, everybody loves me. When the truth of the matter is Canada just wanted to fuck Tom. I mean, plain and
Yeah, I
simple.
think so. I think it was about him, not her. That's a good point.
It's totally, and you know, this is the same thing that happened when who the hell was it? I think I put Jen and Kale up, and Jen came off the block, and I put Mike up against Kale. If you guys remember, or if you don't remember, and I
Yes.
turned everybody against Mike, so Mike went home, and Kale's walking around after the eviction, hugging everybody, going, I want to thank you for voting for me to stay. And I go, bitch, they didn't vote for you to stay. They voted for Mike to go. That's two totally separate, completely separate things. Don't confuse the two. They still hate you. And if I put you up against anybody else, you'd be going home. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Dick, is there any way that Peter doesn't win this game?
Absolutely.
Really? I just think it's cut and dry. Nobody's gonna put him up. Nobody.
Oh, you know, it's so early. It's so early, dude. It's so early. You have no idea what's gonna happen down the line. I think Peter is so loud in the diary room that everybody probably in the house can hear
Yeah.
when he's in there. That they're gonna
I
overdo
could.
something and turn on him. The guy can't be any louder. By the way, and this they should give him.
Oh, that's the stupidest thing ever.
They should give him a penalty nom just for doing that during the vote. I can't stand it when people go in to vote And like my season, Amber with the necklace. Remember the stupid necklace she's sending signals like constantly, and these people are pulling their ear and doing all this stuff when they're voting because it's a live show. I think right off any signals given that gives you a penalty nomination right there. Don't be an idiot. I thought it was very unfair because in Big Brother US, I'm sure these little nuances they I'm sure the production talked to Big Brother Canada about certain little rules and stuff, but I'm sure a lot of things got overlooked. And one of the things that I'm sure got overlooked was when they did this replacement nomination tonight with the veto. They don't let you talk going in the hallway to and from the diary room when you're going to vote, because everybody that voted after Andrew was or Anil was put up, when they're going in to vote, as they're coming out of the diary room, they're whispering to the other person coming the other way who they voted for, and that's not allowed in Big Brother US. They're very very adamant about that. There's no talking.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and I noticed that, and it was also like very obvious there that they were like telling each other who to vote for. It was like almost surprising. And also, did you notice how on tonight, Arissa basically called out the alliances at the end? Like, oh, Tom and Emmett, you guys are like.
she thinks she's
I could never
No,
see
that was no
Julie doing
secret,
that.
she
though.
thinks she's
That was
Jeff
no
Brody
secret.
or
Tom and
something.
Emmett from the very beginning.
But if people in the house don't know that these boys are together, just like in what the hell was it, Big Brother 12, with the brigade.
Brigade.
There was a bunch of idiots in that house. That had to be like the lowest IQ of any of the Big Brother seasons in Big Brother 12. And in this house, really, if they can't see that the frat boys have this little thing going on, they all deserve to be evicted anyway because they're a bunch
Mhm.
of
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want people to start going for the jugular. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that one of the reasons why everybody voted for me was because I was screaming all of the names that have come out as being power people. Like I wanted to throw Tom under the bus, Alec, and Peter I could deal with, but I wanted to get them out, which is so funny because I told everybody when I was leaving, like, I'll see you guys when you get out, and I'm laughing at you because they got you evicted. Like, who doesn't vote out a social psychologist? Are you kidding me? Like,
well, that was
I
ah,
don't get it.
do you remember in what the hell was it, Big Brother 4, when I can't remember his name now, Jack, the FBI interrogator guy, the older guy. Did you guys even watch Big Brother 4? I know Murtz did. You guys have
yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. But he was an
I
FBI
don't.
interrogator, retired FBI. Really? This guy is like the highest level of being professionally trained to know when somebody lies. And you want him out? I'm
Yeah,
like, fucking get this guy out of here first. Are you kidding me? That whole thing
Oh
was
my
ridiculous.
goodness.
So yeah,
it's
All right.
true though.
be out with that.
So, Danielle, do you have any questions for Evil Dick before we let him go? Because I know we got to wrap up here in like 5 minutes. If
Danielle
you can
doesn't
even
even
hear
know who I
us.
am.
I can. You know what? To tell you the truth,
Everybody's
I
cutting out
don't
right
really know who
now.
you are, but I know that you're a really successful player, and I have seen your picture, but I have not seen the season, and I feel really bad about that.
I'm
Well, I
one of
know
the
who you
most
are, Evil
notorious
Dick.
Big
Right
Brother
on.
house guests ever.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys.
It's okay by me.
Oh,
I
I'm
all
know who
right.
you
honest. I
are,
feel really
dude.
bad.
Yeah, I have a little reputation.
All right, Dick. I'm gonna let you go because we got to handle like this Murtz challenge here in a second. But who's your pick to win before I let you go?
I hate when people ask me that. It's so early in the
Well,
game.
I have to
They,
ask you
they
that.
also
That's like a standard interview question.
me like who's my favorite and this and that. And honestly, I don't pick favorites. I view the game one way as a fan. Okay, then I went through the audition process, went to the finals, almost made it on Big Brother 5. Same thing with Big Brother 6, then All Stars on 7, and finally made it on 8. Okay, but by the time Big Brother 5, when I got that far, that's when I started watching the show and I started paying more attention as opposed to a viewer and just a fan of it watching a TV show, how things are going and how people are playing and how people are fucking themselves up and how people are getting themselves farther along. Now, after winning the game, honestly, I just look and see strategies and who's doing what and who's playing the best and who isn't, and so on and so forth. And when I'm watching Big Brother US, I'm watching these people in a way thinking I'm going to play against them again sometime. You understand what I'm saying? Use Murtz.
No. I get what you're saying. So, okay, by that definition, then, who would you say is your favorite player, if not the best player?
Well, like I said, I don't have a favorite. Who's playing the best right now are
I was your favorite.
the three guys. The three guys are playing the best. I think that what the hell's her name? Liza? Is that right, Liza?
Liza.
Yeah, I think that she's playing, but I don't think that she has the strength in her lines. She needs to really. One thing that's always overlooked, which I never did in the house, and this is why I brought, even though I didn't like Zach, I brought Zach in. Because a vote is a vote if you like them or not. And those people, their votes count just as much as your vote or somebody in your alliance or somebody that you like. And those people are being overlooked right now. And if somebody could scoop up all of these little floaters and put them together and say, listen, motherfuckers, if we don't get together, we're going to get our gas kicked one by one, they could turn.
That's what I tried doing.
I'm telling you.
That's what I tried doing week 1, man. I told all of the 8 people that were the floaters. I was like, we're screwed. These guys are going to run shop and they're going to want to get us all out. And, like, Liza's a smart girl. Liza will definitely make bold moves. She's pretty and she smiles, but you know what? When it comes down to it, she's going to cut some throats. I can't wait.
She's got to have the numbers behind her, though. That's the thing. And I don't really see
she
her.
She does. She knows how to play everybody.
She has a little thing with Emmett, but the numbers to basically take over the house, she doesn't have it. She needs to start working those people that are on the outskirts, like Suzette, like Gary, and those people that are, those are Suzette and Gary right there are 2 votes, and if you threw in Alex eyebrows, there's 2 more votes.
All right, Dick, I'm gonna have to let you go here.
Bye.
Because I told these guys I was going to end in an hour. Dick, thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you were here when Danielle was here a second ago.
Danielle is here.
Danielle.
Yeah, we had Danielle from last season.
Oh,
yeah, we could have all came together.
She was a waste of space.
I know she is.
Oh,
sorry.
Bitch is all she was. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
She was horrible.
Hey,
oh my God.
A vote is a vote, right, man? That's what Dan thought. That's what I told Suzette in week 1. A vote is a vote. It's strength in numbers. It's not about who's likable. It's just strength in numbers.
Dan used her like a piece of toilet paper, just wiped his ass and threw her away. It's true. Look,
oh my gosh.
Embarrassed, but it's true.
Oh my gosh. All right, Dick, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. Amazing pop in.
Have fun.
All right. Ladies, I like we're going a little overtime. I have to like wake up to interview Anil in like 5 hours. In any event,
tell him to call me. I want to go for drinks with him tomorrow. Tell him he's got to call me.
when do they send you? Oh well, we can talk about that off air. I was just gonna say, when do they send you back? Okay, Danielle, we have to end with the Murtz challenge here. I wanna start wrapping things up. Now, wait, can you even hear me? Every time you do that, I feel like we're on Star Trek.
Yeah, I can't really hear you. What did you say? Sorry, one more time.
I said it's time for the Murtz challenge. We already talked about what it was going to be. Kat and I are very excited. Danielle is going to teach us one of her Big Brother After Dark dance moves. Okay, so you've already taught me the kick. Are you ready? I'm ready to do this. I'm going to take my earphones off now. So I'm just going to emulate what you're doing.
Okay. I'll show you the kick
okay.
of the lifetime.
Okay, Kat, you're doing this too, right?
Am I doing this too? Okay.
Yes. Okay. 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 Okay, wait. Where? Okay.
You guys are rookies.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was pretty boss.
I
All
have
right.
such a little room, but I can do a lot with the space. So.
I know, me too. I kicked my couch. It's a fuck.
Danielle and Kat, that was amazing. I mean, how hot was this show? Did I not tell you this was the place to be after reality TV?
Awesome.
Right? Danielle was here from Big Brother 14. We had the winner of Big Brother 8 here. Amazing.
Danielle should have kicked on the page before she left. Sorry.
Wait, I'll put it on screen. Hang on.
Oh,
All right.
Daniel's had some funny ones.
So hopefully I will have you guys back on maybe for another episode sometime. Maybe another eviction episode. Oh wait, maybe even well, I'll talk to you maybe next week. Next week's a double eviction, so it's going to be a pretty hot episode.
Yeah, you got some
Woo!
weeks coming up.
It's true. AJ's a goner next week. That's it.
Think he's
It's
gone
over.
next week?
Think positive.
Double
Put
eviction?
positive
No,
thoughts
man.
into the universe.
Well-
Positive thoughts.
Well, okay. Somebody asked us this earlier, and oh crap. Okay, wait. Do you guys have 2 minutes to? I didn't even take any viewer questions. Let's take a quick couple. Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah, sure. I think that
Okay.
you need to have faith, though, Murtz. I mean, if the 7 get what they want, they'll probably take out Gary and Suzette at the same time because they're.
Well, who do you think Emmett's going to put up?
Well, I would say Gary and Suzette, or maybe AJ and Andrew. They're easy targets as far as they're
Yeah.
concerned. You know, and the thing is that because everybody else, aside from those 4 people, are involved with other people, nobody wants to piss somebody else off by putting their showmans up, which is stupid. You know, put a showmans up, get them out. You know, like I don't know. I want
right,
the
quick.
showmances to be over.
Danielle's signaling to me that she has to go, and I have to take some questions
Yeah.
before we roll. Okay.
That's okay. I can
Wait,
sit around if you want.
real quick, Danielle. We're going to take 2 questions. Okay. Do you
Okay.
think Andrew is going with the guys or the girls? Danielle.
Do I think Andrew is going with the guys or the girls? Is that what you said? I think that Andrew is trying to go with the guys. I think he wants to, get into that group because he did feel like a little bit like an outcast, I think, in the beginning. And he's a good guy. I mean, he's a lot tougher than a lot of people think. And I think he's really trying to, sneak his way in there. I think the only really girl connection he has is with Liza, but I don't think I think he's smart. I think he realizes that she's kind of like doing the same thing with Peter and doing the same thing with Tom. So I think he's going to stick with the guys and, not let her get to him too much.
And Danielle, I'm going to let you take this one too, and then I'm going to let you go, and Kat and I will take the last 2, okay? So, Danielle, wow, what is it about Liza that has all the guys hypnotized? I don't get it at all for Danielle.
Honestly, I have no idea either. I know that sounds really bad, but I think she's just really like, I think she's just like confident in herself, I guess. I don't know. I thought I was too, but I think, she's just like suave or something. Like she's like knows how to, like get the guys around to her. So I'm not
Amazing.
sure.
All right, Danielle, we're going to let you go.
Good job, Liza.
Kat, if you can stay for 2 more questions, that would be great. Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right,
Later.
talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Kat, we're going to take 2 quick questions here.
Yeah.
Wait, is he? Let me see. Okay, what about this? From Margot. Do you think Emmett will run with Tom or with Jillian, Alec, and Peter?
I think that Emmett will run with Jillian, personally, which sucks because I think that him and Tom make a better team. And not even just that. I think, okay, so you've got Emmett in the middle, and then you've got Tom on one side and Jillian on the other, the pros and cons. Jillian, if Emmett sides with her, he's a target because they're a showman. But at least with the bromance on Tom's side, they could argue and make it seem as though they're not getting along, whereas Jillian and him couldn't do that because obviously the sexual tension. Also, as far as it goes with Tom, Tom is so out there that that's a big target to stand behind. I think that Emmett would be stupid to not stand behind Tom, and also the longer he sticks with Jillian, if he really does like her, the less of a chance they have of making anything of it outside of the Big Brother house. And I think that it would be just better for them in their future is if one of them went home and then the other one carried on. So I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. I also think that like Emmett and Jillian are kind of like, I think Emmett is much tighter with Jillian than he ever was, I think, with Tom. Like he just pacifies Tom because Tom is so into it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that at least Tom is like he's smart enough to recognize that. But I think that if Emmett is actually in the house playing with his head rather than his heart, so to speak, obviously though it's his other head. But if he was in the house playing with his head, he would stand behind and with Tom and explain to Jillian and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. Like I don't even know why they'd be so open about it anyways. If I was like if I promised myself I wouldn't get involved in a showman, but I thought that if I did, I would keep it so far on the down low that nobody would know. Like I would even pretend to hate the person I was involved in a showmance with, just because it's strategically not advantageous, you know. And I mean, I think Jillian started banking on Emmett as if Tom's vote comes with Emmett, but it won't. Whereas, you know, and it's the same thing vice versa. I think Tom's banking on Jillian and Emmett's vote being the same as his, but I don't think
Yeah.
that will necessarily be the case. So, you know, if Emmett's a smart guy, he'll cut ties with Jillian and then just stand behind Tom until the wreckage is done. Who knows?
No, I agree. I agree. Kat, I think we already addressed this one, but what's the one move you did that you wish you didn't?
One move that I did that I wish I didn't.
Mm.
Well, like I said, I honestly like I don't have any regret. I wish that I did a lot of things, but I can't say I regret it because it's not like I had the opportunity and didn't take it. You know, like I wish that I tried slop. I wish I saw the have not rooms. I wish that I competed in some friggin' competitions, man. But I mean, like honestly, as far as it goes with my story, I got voted out by a girl who didn't like me because I looked too much like her ethnicity without being her ethnicity. And
Oh man,
yeah,
man, it took us an hour and 11 minutes, but we got to the truth.
well, I don't know. Like the thing is like you can only speculate. And if you talk to all the cast members, you know, like what did you think about Kat's eviction? They'll all say like we don't know where her name came from. It came out of nowhere. And I think that you know what a lot of people don't realize is that when Suzette was giving her placement nomination speech, she wasn't using the words bullying and toxic about me. In actual fact, everybody that was in the room, they knew that she stood up there and just talked about how she felt about the house. She didn't speak about anything to do with me. And I ripped her a new one afterwards, just explaining to her, like,
Yeah,
listen, everything you say in any of the speeches that you give directly reflects on the person that you're supposed to be talking to. So when you stand up there and talk about the house being toxic and bullying, the world is perceiving that as you saying that this person is toxic and bullying. So I
yeah,
mean, I've let that. I've made peace with that. Like I said, I ripped her a new one to her face about that, and you can kind of see it dawn on her. Like, oh, I didn't realize that what I was saying could be perceived as it being about you. And I was like, the whole point of your speech was to give me a reason, not just to stand there and talk about the house. Come on. So I
totally,
don't know.
totally.
Yeah, I don't
We've
know.
got a
I was
we've
just
got
gonna
a
say.
we've oh go ahead, yes.
No, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, no, no. Okay, no, you go. No, you. No, it's because we have a late breaking story here, Kat.
What was that?
Pe- well, people are talking about Emmett's win of the HOH tonight, and Big Brother has just tweeted. Thanks to everyone for their comments about tonight's HOH competition. We are looking into this further, and we'll have more information soon.
Do you think they'll go back on it though? I don't know if they actually will go back on it.
Well, I mean, we definitely need a Suzette or Gary win here if anything is ever going to change. So
Yeah.
I don't know who finished second, though. I can't remember.
I think that would be the fairest. That would be the fairest is that they picked who came in second, but I don't know.
I know Andrew was doing well. Emmett was doing well. Um, I don't think Suzette was.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Liza was
Anyway,
third.
okay. Kat, I'm going to let you go, but before I do, who is your pick to win? I'm going to ask this every time you're on the Murtz show.
Well, I want.
I will take your indecision as AJ.
No, I'm sorry, bro. AJ is a cool guy, but I don't think he's gonna win, man. I really wouldn't put my well, what's the way I want to say it? I wouldn't put my beans in that pot.
Okay. Okay.
No, you know what? I would love it if Peter wins because I think that Peter has the capability of out strategizing everybody and playing them without them realizing that they're being played, so on and so forth. Realistically, though, I would love it if Gary won and just stuck it to all of them. I would love
Yeah,
that.
Gary. I think even though even I wouldn't mind a Gary win at this. I just don't. It's weird, Kat, because every time I watch Big Brother in the States, and you get the Horsemen, and you get like the Brigade, and you get like the Renegades
Oh,
and Chilltown. Like typically, I always root for like that Guy Alliance, but not this year, just because I feel like they're just not very likable. I kind of want to see the underdogs this season.
Well, that's the thing, and like that's why I'm kind of laughing at this season because my first week, like I was in the house for 8 days, and my name came up the second day. I knew on the third day that I was for sure going home, and I spent that entire week being like, "Listen, guys, I know this doesn't matter to me because I'm going, but I'm just letting you know, do not trust this person. These people are working together." I mean, when Alex sits down and starts asking you about what kinds of guys you date and, very double-edged questions, like to me, it's like, dude, I know that you're trying to find out, my personality, like if I'm of a dominant or submissive type, like
Yeah,
I'm fully
yeah.
aware of this. And I would just sit there and laugh and be like, how does nobody else get this? And, I'd be talking to Suzette. She'd be like, oh, I had a lovely conversation with Alec about my family and this and that. And I was like alarms were going off. And I'm like,
Oh
what did
my
you tell
god.
him? You're screwed. So I don't know. I would
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
I would absolutely love it if an underdog won because unfortunately, in my Big Brother Canada experience, it was like high school, and the popular kids always win. So I really hope that one of those underdogs sticks it to them. I wanted a Neil to win. That was like my want, my big want. But sadly, it's not going to happen. So if it's
You
not a
didn't
Neil,
I thought Anil was interviewing you right now.
oh well, no, not nearly. You're not as fashionable as him, so
Oh, wow.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. All right, all
uh,
right, all right, all right. I want to end
sorry.
this.
But
I have to actually yeah, I have to go to sleep. I have to like be there in like 6 hours. Okay.
my pick. I want
Kat,
Liza to
thank you
win.
so much.
No problem.
Liza to win. Okay.
Liza win.
There it is. Liza to win. You heard it here on the Murtz Show. Kat, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you'll be back before the season is through. And at some point, hopefully, I think March 29th. Well, I don't know. Hopefully, whenever the jury is decided or whatever, maybe we'll go and watch an episode at AJ's parents' house if he doesn't make the jury.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared of AJ's family because our last interview, you weren't too happy about what I had to say about AJ.
Yeah, well, now I've had time to like, yeah, because that was after watching you on the feeds, you know. So like now that's like kind of out of my head now.
Dude, I was trying to save him from getting pegged in the head with the football by making him stand behind the noodle. I was doing him a favor, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not nearly as bad as like Gary. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. Gary is not the biggest AJ fan. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, the girls aren't either, just so you know.
Is it? Is anyone?
I think of the girls in
Andrew.
particular because he makes a lot of offhand comments when we're in our bathing suits and whatnot, and I don't think the girls appreciate his appreciation because it comes off the wrong way. If you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh.
He's a perv, man.
All right.
I gotta say it. He's a perv.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, now you know.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. No more AJ ragging. I can't take any more. You're like killing my high that he made it through tonight.
No, I love him. He's a sweet guy. I think he just needs to work on his lines a bit more.
Oh my god.
Don't worry,
Oh
I'll
my
keep
god. All right,
you in
Kat.
mind.
Oh my god. All right, Kat, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being on the
No
show.
problem. Thank you for having me anytime.
Take it easy. Good night, all. Thank you for staying this long with us. Peace out.
Bye.